Hello everyone and welcome back for more show coverage of the first annual Rolling Route 66 show. I'll be your host today. My name is Austin Koop from Tulane, America, and on behalf of all of us and the folks over at Rockabilly Q, we'd like to welcome you to the show coverage day 5 as we tackle the Kansas portion of Route 66. So Kansas does have a little bit of Route 66, goes through a few different little towns there between Missouri and Oklahoma. As always, a huge thank you to our sponsor, Don Juan Pomade. So if you need men's grooming products, please check them out. Went and got a haircut today just to show that off with what little bit of hair I have left. All right, an update as of Friday, 2/12. We've broken the 1,000 car mark. So we are over 1,000 cars and trucks entered into the show. So thank you to each and every one of you. Looks like we've logged over 19,000 votes, and that was just as of this morning. So I bet we're actually closer to 20,000 now. Just a reminder, 1 vote per person per day. And we do have some news on the voting front that we think most of you will like. We're getting rid of the reCAPTCHA feature on the software that we're using for the car show. So had several people reach out just over the course of the show so far and mentioned that certain people were having issues with it freezing and things like that. After going back and forth with the software people, they have no control over that particular part of it. And I just had them remove it. So convinced them to just take it away. So no more having to prove that you're not a robot. I hereby declare that none of you are robots, and it should be a lot easier for anybody to vote. I don't think this was a widespread issue, but for some people with certain browsers and phones, it seemed to be causing some issues. So we've taken care of that with some arm twisting. On the back end, I was able to get that just completely taken off. So hope you like that. Let's talk about the leaderboard. So I am going to run through the top 20 real quick. So starting with 20 through 16. So it's going to go ascending as you view the screen here. So in 16th place, that little mini, the orange mini there. And then 17th, 18th, 19th, and then the white truck there is in 20th. I did want to make a note about the car that's in 19th place, that orange Camaro there. That's actually an 18-year-old. So it's always good to see that. We love to see the young people taking the hobby and getting into it. And so Danny, thank you for submitting your car. All of you other young guns that are out there, we really appreciate you as well for keeping the automotive hobby alive and well. So thank you. So that's your 16 through 20 and 11 through 15. So a little bit of rearrangement there, but mostly the same vehicles as you can see there. Again, 10 through 20, all just separated by a few votes. And now let's get into your top 10. In the top 10, coming in at 10th, Pam and Ron Scattergood with 300 votes there in that blue Corvette. In 9th place, Tom Norskoff with 327 votes. Scott and Connie Bosey move with 380 votes at 8th there. In 7th place, Leon Humphreys Cobra with 390 votes. Dennis Vaughn with his sedan there, holding steady at number 6 with 408 votes. Brett Vassey, the Mopar of the bunch, 418 votes there in 5th. Had another move through the field there. So Josh Carpenter's Cadillac drops to 4th with 482 votes. And Ricky Napick continues his climb towards the end of the week here. 516 votes puts him in 3rd place. Holding down 2nd place, JC Grosso's Trans Am. And still in 1st place, we've got Sarah Honeycutt's Impala Wagon with 725 votes. So as you can see, things are moving, things are changing. So keep those votes coming. If you missed it yesterday, like we said, you can share the video once we post it on Facebook And again, if you comment on the share there, when you share it with the direct link to your car, I think that's a pretty good way to help get votes. So that is your leaderboard. Again, over the weekend, we're going to try to compile some class information and share that with you on Monday and Tuesday. So as I mentioned, today we're going to go through Kansas. Basically going to focus primarily on a couple different towns. This shouldn't take too long. So as we come out of Carthage, Missouri and kind of go through and cross into Kansas, the first town I want to talk about is Galena, Kansas. As you head into Galena, almost the very first place you'll see as you come into town greeting you is Cars on the Route. So Cars on the Route is a former filling station. It's been converted into a gift shop and a great stop for photos. They've got a tow mater from the movie Cars out front you can take pictures with. They also sell some drinks and light food as well, depending on when you visit. So it's one of those kind of first thing you see when you get into Kansas that you should be stopping at. Here's a couple more pictures there. You can see a gas pump and tow mater down there in the corner. The other thing I wanted to highlight in Galena is the mining museums. They've got kind of a railroad depot that's turned into a kind of a town museum about their mining history. A lot of people don't realize that kind of this area of Kansas and Oklahoma has a rich mining history. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we dive into Oklahoma. Of course, within the town itself, lots of good places to grab something to eat and things like that. But those are kind of the highlights from Galena there. Going down the road a little bit further is one of my favorites in Kansas, the old Riverton store. So this place has been there for years and years and years. And it's a great spot for a quick stop. They've got a little functioning market where you can get a sandwich or snacks, supplies, kind of like an old-fashioned little country store. They've also got a little section just with Route 66 stuff. Excuse me. So it's always been a favorite of ours. We do want to mention that the passing of Forrest Nelson there. So Forrest lived to the great age of 98. He's part of the greatest generation. I believe he was even captured during the war by the Germans for a little while. If you get a minute to go read, if you Google his name, his obituary will pop up and you can read that. Just a remarkable person and life. So he is the father of the current owner of the Riverton store. And he's worked, if you've been there before, you recognize him. He's worked as a clerk there, greeting people as they've traveled the Mother Road for many years. So we were sorry to hear about the passing of Forrest Nelson there, but definitely a life lived well. And so again, we encourage you to Google him and read the obituary of the lot of life that he had in 98 years here. So a little bit outside of Riverton, we come to what we call the Rainbow Bridge. So there used to be these double arch bridges, quite a few of them on Route 66. There's not as many as there used to be, but they've done a good job of keeping this one going and preserving it. What makes it such a great little Route 66 stop is where it is, there's actually a new road that's been built kind of around it. So you get a section of Route 66 there that doesn't really have heavy traffic. So you can do things like we're doing here, where we kind of staged the cars on it. So it's a really good spot to take photos and to get out and do a little bit on the road itself. From time to time, they go out and repaint the Route 66 shield onto it there. So it's just a great little photo op just outside of Riverton as you head. There's another picture there of the Rooses and their Corvette. After the bridge, you'll come to Baxter Springs, Kansas. And just like Galena, plenty of great places to eat and enjoy in their little main street there. We want to point out kind of a unique little venture called Decades of Wheels. So as you can imagine from the name, it is a car museum, but they've also got rooms to rent. They've got banquet space. They've got a cafe. They've got it all. So a pretty unique little place there. As you can see, it brings in the car folks. So what we're going to do for them, they're currently closed for the winter, but we expect them to open back up when the weather starts to turn. So what we'll do is, instead of talking about them, they've actually got a great little walkthrough of their properties. And so when I get finished running my mouth here, we'll show you a little bit of a walkthrough of their facility before we, of course, walk through the show field. So without further ado, let's take a walk through the decades of wheels and then head through the show field, another batch of just beautiful cars. So wish you a wonderful weekend, great Valentine's Day and President's Day weekend, and we will have a new video for you on Monday. So enjoy your weekend, everyone.